July is the month that exposes every mistake you made with your hostas back in spring. The plant that came up in May, spectacular, is now showing brown edges, holes chewed through leaves, yellowing at the base, maybe a strange streaking between the veins that will not go away. Here is the hard truth after 40 years of growing these plants. Most gardeners respond to these symptoms the same way. Water more, feed, snip off ugly leaves, hope. Every response is wrong for at least one symptom. And one of them, number 1, can spread through your entire hosta bed before summer is over. Today I am giving you the 7 mistakes ruining hostas across America right now. Number 4 is the one everybody makes thinking they are helping. Mistake number 7, watering wrong, shallow, on the leaves and at the wrong time of day. The most common thing gardeners do to their hostas in July is give them a 2-minute daily sprinkle with a hose over the top of the leaves. Feels caring. Trains the plant to fail. 2 minutes of overhead water wets the top inch of soil and evaporates before it reaches the actual root zone. The plant's roots stay shallow because that is where the moisture keeps arriving. Then the first real July heat wave hits. The top inch dries out in an afternoon, and the roots have nowhere deeper to go. You see brown leaf edges, mid-afternoon wilting, and a plant that starts checking out for the season by early August. Most gardeners look at that and diagnose it as needing more water. It does not need more water. It needs different water, the rhythm that works. 1 inch of water per week delivered in 2 deep sessions, applied directly at the soil at the base of the plant, not over the leaves, not at night. Set an empty coffee can under a soaker hose or a slow drip point. When the can holds 1 inch of water, the plant is done for the session. Test the soil depth with a finger. You should feel moisture at 3 to 4 inches down. If you cannot, water longer. For hostas planted under maple trees or spruce, the canopy blocks half the rain, and the tree roots outcompete the hosta roots for whatever gets through. Hand water those hostas at the crown twice a week, regardless of what the sky did. The evening watering warning nobody gives you often enough. Water on the leaves at 7 or 8 in the evening is exactly what slugs use to hunt. The moisture on the foliage is their trail. It is also how anthracnose, foliar nematodes, and every other fungal and waterborne disease moves from plant to plant. Morning watering before 9 evaporates by noon and gives none of that. Evening watering never. Mistake number 6, ignoring the sun that shifted since spring. Almost every hosta bed in America has at least one plant that is now sitting in the wrong light because the gardener planted it in April when the sun angle was different. The May shade you counted on is gone by July 4th. That plant is now taking 2 hours of hot afternoon sun it never got in spring, and the tissue is scorching. The tell, bleached papery patches on the leaves, usually on the side facing the hot afternoon sun. No holes, no slime, no streaking. Just white or tan patches that look burned. Most gardeners see that and start watering harder. Watering does not fix light. Only relocation fixes light. Walk your hosta bed on a hot afternoon between roughly noon and 4 in the afternoon. That is the window that decides the health of every hosta. If the plant is taking direct sun during that window in July, it is being cooked. The damage on the current leaves does not heal, but new leaves emerging from the crown will come in clean if you correct the light, either by relocating the plant to true afternoon shade this fall, or by planting a shrub or perennial to break the afternoon sun above it. Blue hostas take this the worst. Halcyon, Blue Angel, Elegance, the whole blue leaf category, get their color from a waxy powder coating on the leaf surface. That wax is what makes the leaves look blue instead of green. Once the wax is scorched off by afternoon sun, it does not come back that season. The leaves stay green-blue at best, washed out gray-green at worst. You do not get the deep true blue back until next spring's fresh growth. My grandmother grew a bed of halcyon on the north side of her Ohio farmhouse from about 1972 through the mid-90s. She protected them from afternoon sun with a row of arborvitae she planted specifically to cast 4 in the afternoon shade. She told me once, "The blue is the whole point. If you lose the blue, you might as well grow a plantain." Same lesson. Halcyon holds the blue longest of any blue hosta. That is why nurseries still recommend it, but only if you place it where the afternoon sun cannot reach it. Mistake number 5, feeding at the wrong time, especially nitrogen, after the end of July. Every established hosta in soil with any organic content does not need to be fed. That is the truth. A perennial hosta clump in a bed that gets an inch of compost top-dressed each spring is fully fed for the season by that single application. The fertilizer bag you keep sprinkling around it does almost nothing except push soft, water-thin new growth that the plant does not really need. The exception is hostas in containers or hostas in pure clay with zero organic amendment. Both are relying entirely on you for nutrients. One light, balanced, slow-release feeding at the start of July is enough. That is the only feeding those plants need for the whole season. Here is the mistake that costs gardeners entire clumps, and almost nobody explains why. Nitrogen applied to a hosta after the end of July pushes late soft growth that has no time to harden off before the first frost. In zones 4 through 6, the first frost hits in September. The soft late summer growth freezes and blackens. That damage carries down through the petiole into the crown. Come spring, the crown emerges weakened, sometimes with rotted zones from the frost damage, and the plant that was healthy in August is a shell of itself in May. The rule I have used for 40 years is direct. Any fertilizer, any organic feed, any liquid, stop by July 31st. No exceptions. The last 4 to 8 weeks of the growing season are for the plant to move nutrients back into the crown for winter storage. Not for pushing more leaf. The wrong nutrient does the same damage. If you must feed a container hosta in July, use a balanced 10-10-10. Do not use the high nitrogen lawn fertilizer that many gardeners have on hand. That kind of nitrogen surge in July drives the exact soft growth pattern that dies in the first frost. Quick pause here. Which of these first 3 symptoms are you seeing in your hosta bed right now? The brown edges from wrong watering, the bleached patches from wrong sun, or the pale washed out leaves from wrong feeding? Type the number in the comments and your U.S. state. Mistake number 4, piling mulch against the crown, the silent hosta killer. Here it is, the mistake almost everybody makes because they think they are being helpful, and by the time you see the damage, the plant is often past saving. Every summer I see hosta beds where the gardener has piled 2, 3, sometimes 4 inches of shredded bark mulch right up against the base of every plant. Volcano shape. The intent is good. Mulch conserves moisture, cools roots, suppresses weeds. All true. What the gardener does not know is that mulch piled against the crown of a hosta in July heat creates the exact conditions that a specific soil fungus is waiting for. The fungus has a name, Sclerotium rolfsi, also called southern blight or petiole rot. It thrives in warm, humid conditions above 80 degrees, and it is present in most American soils. Bury the crown of a hosta under warm, wet mulch, and the fungus wakes up, colonizes the base of the petioles where they attach to the crown, and starts rotting the plant from underneath, silently, underground. You do not see anything wrong for weeks. Then one August afternoon, a leaf yellows, the petiole gets soft, you tug on it, and the whole petiole pulls free of a crown that no longer exists. Half the plant is gone, sometimes the entire clump. The visual tell before catastrophic collapse. Pull the mulch back from the base of your hostas right now. Look at the crown and the top inch of soil. If you see small tan or brown lumps that look like mustard seeds, or a white cotton-like mycelium mat at the base of the petioles. You are looking at active Sclerotium rolfsi. Those mustard seed sclerotia are the survival structures of the fungus. They can sit dormant in soil for years and reactivate every summer above 80 degrees. The fix, if you have caught it early: pull all the mulch 4 to 6 inches away from every hosta crown, not just close to it, actively away from it. Clear the crown. Let air move through the base of the plant. If you see the fungal signs, scrape away the top inch of infected soil and dispose of it in the trash, not the compost pile, because those sclerotia will survive composting. Mulch itself is not the enemy. 2 to 3 inches of shredded bark mulch does everything the gardener wants: conserves moisture, cools roots, suppresses weeds, as long as you keep it 4 to 6 inches away from the crown. Donut, not volcano. Somewhere around 2006 or 2007, I lost 3 mature sum and substance clumps in a single summer to Sclerotium rolfsi before I recognized what I was looking at. Watched them go from magnificent to rotted at the base in about 3 weeks in late July heat. I have pulled mulch back from every hosta crown every single spring since. Quick word before number 3. There is more practical perennial garden design than fits in any one video. I gathered 40 years of it into a book at henrysgardensecrets.com. The book is the long version. I will not bring it up again. Now, mistake number 3, losing the war with slugs, using the wrong tools. Slugs are the #1 physical damage cause on American hostas, universal complaint on every gardening forum, and the mistake most gardeners make is trying to fight them with tools that do not work while ignoring the one that does. The irregular, jagged holes chewed through the middle of the leaf, sometimes with a silvery slime trail visible on the leaf surface in the morning. That is, slugs. They feed at night. They hide during the day under boards, rocks, mulch, plant debris, anywhere cool and damp. You see the damage in the morning. The slugs are already gone. The tools that do not work. Beer traps drown a handful of slugs while the rest of the colony ignores them completely. Salt kills only the slug you find and damages your soil. Copper tape works for a container or two, but is not practical for a bed. Diatomaceous earth fails the moment it gets wet, which in July is every night. The tool that actually works: iron phosphate slug bait, sold under the name Sluggo, Sluggo Plus, or Bone-Eyed Slug Magic. Scatter it lightly around the base of every hosta at dusk. The slugs eat it and stop feeding within 24 hours. Population drops noticeably within a week. Reapply after every rain. The pellets break down in wet weather. Iron phosphate is safe around pets, safe around birds, safe around children. It is what the trial gardens use, the backup that keeps population down further. 1 hour after full dark, walk out with a flashlight. Slugs are on the tops of the leaves feeding. Pick them off with your fingers into a jar of soapy water. Do it 3 nights in a row. The population crashes further. Then set out Sluggo the next weekend and keep the pressure on. Environmental changes that matter. Slugs need dark, humid hiding spots during the day. If you have boards, old flower pots, unnecessary rocks, or piles of debris near the hosta bed, remove them. Improve air circulation around plants by not overcrowding. And revisit mistake number 1, no evening watering on the leaves. Wet foliage at 9 at night is a slug highway system. For long-term slug resistance, plant the thick-leaved cultivars. Halcyon, Blue Angel, Sum and Substance, Empress Wu, and Blue Mouse Ears have leaves too tough for slugs to chew through easily. Slugs are lazy. They will move on to a thinner-leaved neighbor. Hit subscribe. The same shade, half of the yard, has Huchera, Brunera, Astilbe, Tiarella, all following the exact Protect Not Push July rules you just heard. Mistake number 2, ignoring the rabbits. They will mow your hosta bed overnight. Rabbits are the second most cited hosta damage on American gardening forums after slugs. And unlike slugs, rabbits work in the pre-dawn hours and can decimate a hosta bed in a single night if a pregnant doe has moved in near your yard. The tell: Clean, angled cuts on stems and petioles, as if scissors did the damage. Whole leaves gone, sometimes whole petioles chewed to the ground. Small, round, dark droppings around the plant, sometimes a visible run in the mulch where the rabbits track through the bed in the same path every night. The rabbit-resistant hostas do not exist. There is no cultivar rabbits will not eat if hungry enough, which means the fix is deterrence, not variety choice. The single most effective home deterrent is a hot pepper and garlic spray, sprayed on the foliage every 3 to 5 days and after every rain. The recipe: 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, 3 cloves of garlic minced fine, 1 teaspoon of liquid dish soap, 1 quart of water. Steep for 24 hours, strain, spray. The soap makes it stick. The pepper and garlic make the leaves taste terrible. Rabbits sample and leave. If you do not want to mix your own, the commercial deterrents that consistently work are liquid fence and plant skid. Both use rotten egg and blood meal-based fragrances rabbits and deer both find repulsive. Applied every 7 to 10 days, they keep pressure off the bed. For persistent rabbit pressure, physical exclusion is the only permanent answer. A 1-foot-tall chicken wire fence around the hosta bed, dug 2 inches into the soil so the rabbits cannot burrow under, is not pretty, but it works. If your property is fenced already, sealing the gaps at the base of the fence keeps them out entirely. The mistake most gardeners make is spraying the deterrent once, seeing it work for a week, and stopping. Rabbits test the boundary constantly. The deterrent has to be reapplied on the schedule. Miss 2 weeks in July, and the bed is chewed to nubs by August. Before the closing warning, tap like if any diagnostic in this video has already changed what you thought you were looking at in your own hosta bed. Nothing more. That single signal is what keeps this video moving through the algorithm. The last mistake is the one that can spread through your entire hosta bed before summer is over. Get the diagnosis wrong here, and you can lose every hosta you own with a single pair of pruners. Mistake number 1, misdiagnosing what is wrong. 2 incurable killers hide in the list. I went back and forth on which of the 4 diagnoses deserve to close this list. The 2 that permanently end a plant are what you need to recognize. Misdiagnose them, and you use the same pruners on all 4, spreading the incurables through the entire bed. 4 causes: 2 treatable, 2 not. Slugs give you jagged holes and a slime trail. Sunscorch gives you bleach patches with no holes. Both are covered above. The first incurable is foliar nematodes. The signature pattern is yellow to brown streaks running precisely along the leaf veins, forming rectangles between the parallel veins. Microscopic worms feed inside the leaf tissue. There is no cure. Bag the plant, take it to the trash, and never to the compost. Switch that bed to bottom watering only. The second incurable is Hosta virus X. The pattern is ink blot or ring spot markings around the veins, sometimes with a blistered leaf surface. The virus transmits plant to plant through the sap on cutting tools. 1 infected plant plus 1 dirty pair of pruners equals every hosta in your bed carrying the virus by the end of the day. Dig the infected plant, root ball and all, and take it to the trash. Never the compost. Between plants, scrub the sap off your pruners with soap and water, then dip them in a 10% bleach solution. 9 parts water, 1 part household bleach, not hydrogen peroxide. Bleach. Around 2015, a neighbor 2 doors down lost every one of her 12 halcyon to Hosta virus X. She had been cutting the ugly leaves off with the same pruners for 2 weeks. That is what misdiagnosis costs. 7 mistakes. 2 of them do not fix at all if you get them wrong. Fix number 4 this weekend. Pull the mulch back from every hosta crown. That single afternoon prevents the fungus that kills more mature hostas in July than anything else. Drop your U.S. state and the mistake you are fixing first. The pattern tells me what to cover next. July is not the month to push hostas. It is the month to protect them. The ones that come back strongest next spring are the ones you protected.